What's up, Gooners? Welcome back to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because we've got 3 juicy stories today that reveal Arsenal's January plans and some cheeky banter from David Moyes. Let's dive straight in. Gooners, Arsenal's relationship with Crystal Palace continues. After signing Eberechi Eze for £67.5 million in the summer, Arsenal are now showing interest in another Palace player, Marc Guehi. Arsenal's injury crisis has reached critical levels. Out of the Gunners' 25-man first-team squad, 17 players have missed at least one game due to injury or illness this season. That's 68% of the squad. It's absolutely brutal. The latest casualty is Ben White, who hurt his hamstring during the 2-1 win against Wolves at the Emirates. White joins Gabriel Jesus and Christian Mosquera in the treatment room. This comes after William Saliba was rushed back from his own injury last weekend. Arsenal don't have many options at the back now, which is why they're seriously considering making a move for a new defender in the January transfer window. According to Court Offside, Guehi is one centre-back who could come into consideration at the Emirates. And here's why this could be smart business. The England international will enter the final 6 months of his contract on New Year's Day. That means he could potentially be available for a bargain fee in the winter window. Think about it. Palace know that if they don't sell in January, they risk losing Guehi for free in the summer. So they might accept a reduced fee now rather than getting nothing later. That's the kind of market opportunity Andrea Berta loves to exploit. However, there's a complication. It's unclear if Guehi would be interested in a move to Arsenal because he knows he'll be behind Saliba and Gabriel in the pecking order once they're both fit. Guehi's an England international. He's at the peak of his career and he probably wants guaranteed starting minutes. But here's the counter-argument. Arsenal play over 50 games a season across multiple competitions. With the injury record Arsenal have had, Guehi would get plenty of opportunities even as third choice. Plus, he'd be competing for trophies rather than fighting relegation battles. Guehi isn't the only option Arsenal are considering. The report names 3 other defenders on Arsenal's shortlist. Rennes youngster Jeremy Jacquet, who was linked in the summer, is still admired in North London. Sporting CP star Ousmane Diomande, who's been on the radar for a long time. And Eintracht Frankfurt left-back Nathaniel Brown, viewed as a versatile option. So Arsenal have multiple targets, which is smart. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Have backup options ready if your first choice falls through. Personally, I think Guehi makes a lot of sense for January. Proven Premier League quality, available at a potentially reduced price due to his contract situation. English, so no work permit issues. And he knows the league inside out. If Arsenal can convince him that he'll get enough playing time, this could be a shrewd signing. Now let's talk about Gabriel Jesus, because Arsenal apparently tried to use him in a swap deal, but it didn't work out. Jesus has returned from his ACL injury and looked sharp in substitute appearances against Club Brugge and Wolves. But according to Tutto Juve, Arsenal have attempted to sign Jonathan David from Juventus in January using a swap deal that would see Jesus going the other way. For those who don't remember, Jonathan David has long been linked with Arsenal. The Canadian striker was of interest when he was at Ghent, then at Lille, and in the summer when he was available on a free transfer. Instead, Juventus snapped him up. Neither David nor Victor Gyökeres have had great seasons so far, so maybe Arsenal thought they could improve their striker situation by bringing in David. The report reveals that Juventus really rate Jesus highly from a tactical point of view and think he could replace the injured Dusan Vlahovic. But here's the problem. The Bianconeri are unsure about Jesus' fitness issues, which is why they don't intend to accept Arsenal's swap deal offer in the winter window. And honestly, you can't blame them. Jesus has spent the better part of a year on the sidelines with an ACL tear. Even though he's looked good in limited minutes since returning, there's always a risk of re-injury or that he's not quite the same player. Juventus don't want to take that gamble. Now, should Arsenal even be trying to move Jesus on? Mikel Arteta has always been clear on this. He recently said, "I don't consider that, especially with the situation we have right now. I think Gabby has a lot to offer to the team, and he has proven that straight away in the first minutes that he was available to play. From a financial perspective, it would make sense to get rid of Jesus. He's Arsenal's highest earner and currently 4th choice behind Gyökeres, Kai Havertz and Michael Merino. But Arsenal need all the help they can get as they chase the Premier League and Champions League titles. Arsenal's. Look, if this swap deal was genuinely proposed by Arsenal, it suggests the club is at least open to moving Jesus on if the right opportunity presents itself. But with Juventus rejecting it due to fitness concerns, Jesus stays at Arsenal for now, and honestly, that's probably for the best. Arsenal's squad depth has been tested to the absolute limit this season. Losing Jesus, even for Jonathan David, would leave Arsenal dangerously thin up front if Gyökeres or Havertz pick up injuries. The Arsenal board should listen to Arteta and keep Jesus until at least the end of the season. After that, maybe reassess in the summer when everyone's fit and the squad situation is clearer. Alright, let's finish with some pre-match banter. David Moyes has aimed a subtle dig at Arsenal, suggesting we signed Declan Rice too cheaply, and honestly, it's quite funny. Arsenal struck a £105 million deal to sign Rice from West Ham in the summer of 2023. He remains the Gunners' record signing, and he's been absolutely unbelievable over the last 2.5 years. Rice was already an excellent player under Moyes at West Ham, but he's taken his game to a whole new level under Mikel Arteta. That's led to some Arsenal fans singing "We got him half price," which is crazy because Rice cost over £100 million. Moyes previously claimed that Arsenal owed him another £50 million because Rice was signed too cheaply. Now, ahead of Everton's game against Arsenal, the Scot has hinted at the same again. During his press conference, Moyes was asked if Arteta had ever called him for advice. The Everton boss replied, "Yeah, also for favours. He's taken my players too cheaply, stuff like that, in the past." The only player Arteta has signed from a club managed by Moyes is Rice, so the Everton boss is clearly talking about Arsenal's number 41. It's a cheeky dig, and you have to respect the banter. But here's the thing, Moyes. £105 million was Arsenal's record transfer fee. That's not cheap by any metric. Yes, Rice has been worth every penny and more, but West Ham got an absolutely massive fee for him. Rice will want to make a statement when Arsenal take on Everton on Saturday. He was absolutely furious after Arsenal's performance against Wolves. The Gunners were awful in that fixture, standards were nowhere near where they should be, and reports claim Rice had a go at his teammates in the dressing room afterward. That shows real leadership from the England international, but he'll be the first to admit he wasn't at his best against Wolves either. So Rice needs to back up those words with a performance against Everton, and he's done it before against Moyes. Rice scored a screamer and picked up 2 assists against the Scots West Ham back in 2024. I'm sure he'd love to remind Moyes exactly why he was worth £105 million by putting in a masterclass at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. So there you have it, Gooners. What do you think, Gooners? Should Arsenal sign Guehi in January? Would you have taken the Jesus-David swap? And will Rice shut up Moyes with a masterclass? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an Arsenal update. Until next time, Gooners. Come on, you Gunners.